today I'm going to show you how to build a beam, because you know what I'm going to need it for is, you can see I've got my all my concrete pillars all put in, and these are the last ones I put in yesterday. Now they've been setting for a day. They're not dry yet, so well, they're dry, but they're not cured enough yet to stand any weight. That'll take about a week. So in the meantime, I'm going to have to span a beam across here. And you know, what do? Go down and buy one? No. What I'm going to do is make one. I'll show you how to make it. They're actually pretty easy to make. It just takes a little time. Now the first thing you got to do, of course, is see, how long of a beam do you need? So let's measure this. Well, it's a little bit less than 21 feet. So what I'm going to do is I want it to stick out of both ends a little bit, have a little extra. So, well, let's call it 24 feet. Yeah, 24 feet. So let's go 24 feet. So what we need to do is we need to get a beam that's 24 feet long. Now, like I said, you can go down to the store and have one engineered and one buy it, or you can actually get two 12-footers and support them in the middle like that. You could do that, but I don't even want to do that. What I want to do is make one continuous beam that's 24 feet long, and it's not as hard as you might think. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I've got my setup here on how to build this beam. What we're going to do is take some 2x6s, and we're going to, I think it's going to take 6 of these. We're going to laminate them together, because what you're going to get is, in the end, you know, these are 92.5-inch pieces. They're not full 8-footers, and they're a lot cheaper that way for some reason. I'm not sure why, but they're $3.77 a piece this way. But if you get them a full 8-foot, which is 3.5 inches shorter, they're $5. I'm not sure why that is, but it is. So I bought these. So what that means is, if you put 3 of them together, we're not going to get 24 feet. We're going to get 23 feet and 3 inches about. And that's plenty wide to span what we need. We need to span, I think, 21 feet, a little more than 21 feet. And 23 feet something is going to be plenty. That's going to work fine for us. So here's how we do it. First of all, you've got to glue these together. So you need some kind of adhesive. Now this is what I use. It's just construction adhesive, and you can get it at any hardware store. These don't cost much. This is like $2.50, something like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to screw these together. What we're going to do is we're going to put glue on one of these, and then we're going to take this one of these boards here, and we're going to basically butt them together right here. And I've got a mark here where the midpoint of this bottom board, this is going to be the middle of the beam. And so what we'll do is we'll shove one of those beams over to meet this, and we'll get the other beam on this side, and we'll put some glue right in here to sandwich this in. Now the kind of screws that I like to use are these kind. It's just that I prefer them. You see, that's got a nice head on it that's not like a Phillips or something like that. And they come in a box with a bit like that. Now the reason I like these is because when you put them together like this, they really grip well, and you don't have to lean on them like sometimes in Phillips screws. You know, they're sometimes they slip and you have to put pressure on these. These you just have to barely push on them, and these grip really good. So I like these, and that's what we're going to use. Now, we're not going to rely on these screws for strength. There's not strength in the beam. The screws are there only to compress, to put pressure on these beams that are laminated with the glue between them, so that the glue, the construction adhesive, will set up under pressure. I guess theoretically we can take the screws out when it's all set up, but we're not going to do that. That's a little silly. Why bother? But anyway, the screws are not the strength, it's the glue that's the strength. So we're going to get started here right now. The first thing I got to do is we have to drill some pilot holes in here. And basically drill these about a foot apart, no more than that, all the way down both sides of this beam that we're going to laminate on here. And the reason is you don't want to have any real pressure on getting this screw through until you hit this. You want this one to have really good grip on this one so it can screw down and put that pressure on there to get that glue to set up good under pressure. So let's get a couple more holes drilled here and get this all done. There, all the holes are now drilled, the pilot holes, and I've just put some screws, just started them hand tight. So the screws and the holes are ready to go. Now the next step is to coat this with the glue. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to need a glue gun. And these things are also available at the hardware store. This is only a couple bucks. They don't cost much, they're pretty cheap. And what you do is you take and clip off the tip of this thing. And you don't need to clip off much of the tip. But clip off the tip. And then they have right in here generally, right here at the base, there's a seal in here. And you have to puncture that. Now a lot of these things have a little device built right onto them, like this little cat whisker looking thing. But I don't want to use that. I got this thing. So what you do is just go down here and punch through that little seal, and now you're ready. So you put it in the holder and you start cranking away. So we're going to do this side first. So we'll put the glue down, and you don't need really a lot. Put it down in a nice S pattern. There we go. That should work just great. Now, what we'll do is we'll take this one here and we'll set it right on top of there. Let's put it right in the line here, and I'm going to screw it down on this end. And now we'll pull this that way because that makes it heavy on that end. And we'll make sure it's straight here. There we go. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, and screw it down on that end. And then do a little zigzag pattern to screw everything down properly. Same thing on this side. Fall off. Put some glue on this side, and then we'll screw this one down to this side. So here we go. There we go. Go down here, make sure this is straight. Okay, now that's the first pass is done. Now what we need to do is turn it over, put these two boards on either end of this one. Now let's show you how to do that. Here we go. Got a sliver there. Turn it over. Now you see that sliver out. Now you see right here what we got is another place to put another board on. So that's exactly what we're going to do, but before we do that, what we have to do is put some pilot holes and screws in that one. So let's get to that. Alright, I've drilled holes, pilot holes in both of these boards, this one and this one, and I put some screws in it. Now what we got to do is screw these down, put glue on it just the same as we did the others. So let me scoop this one up here a little bit. There we go. Alright, so let's glue this one down. Surprised that didn't pop up. There we go. Alright, so here we go. Let's put that one down. There. Now, make sure that edge down here is straight. There we go. Now the same down at this end. Now what we have is we've got 3 pieces of that board laminated on 2 other pieces underneath. So what we got to do, let's turn this over. So what we need to do is we need to cut another 2 by 6 in half, put half here and half on the other end, and laminate it down here. Well, we got that last piece cut in half, and this is half of it. And then this is going to go down here on this last part that has a place to put something. There we go. Okay, let's do this side. And let's make sure it's straight here. Now, okay. Let's lift it up. Okay. Now there's our beam. And let's go over here and have a look at it. And as you can see, it's straight and narrow. Well, it's got a little curve to it, but you know, it's such a long piece, that's just natural, but you can straighten that out when you install it. But let's go down on this end. There, see that? See how that one piece is longer than the other? I think one of these is 8 foot instead of 92.5. But anyway, there it is. There's your beam. Let's look at it broadside here. And that's a 23-foot beam. And that's what we're going to use. Now, the only thing you could do, really, to make that a little stronger is to laminate another 2x4 on top of that. See, now what I'm saying is supposing we take another 2x4 and right in the middle, you know, we put some glue on it and then we screwed this down right here. And if we let this be the bottom of the beam, that's going to give it a lot of strength. And then basically put another 2x4 over there and another one on the other end. So you basically laminated this for the bottom. Now, that would definitely make it a lot stronger. But if I did that, I'm not sure I could pick this thing up and move it where I need to move. So I may do this, or I may just put some more supports under it instead. But right now we already have a support right there, right in the middle. And so you're really only going to spend from there out to the sides with no support. But if I put one more support under it, you know, on both sides, 2 more supports in other words, it's, you know, it's definitely very, very strong now. So I'll have to think about it. How heavy is that going to be if I put more wood on it? So anyway, for today we're done.